Hey guys, welcome back to another Division 2 video. So yesterday the Year 7 Season 1 Climax mission became available, allowing you a chance to get the new Tinker exotic mask. And completing the mission on Master difficulty gives you a 100% drop chance. So in this video I'm going to show you the two builds I used to complete the mission on Master difficulty. One is my take on a build you're probably pretty familiar with at this point, and the other is a build I haven't seen around much. So with that, let's take a look. So the first build you've probably heard about by now. It's a striker backfire setup, and there's lots of variations to this build that you might have seen from other people, but this is the way I set it up for Master difficulty. So both these builds I'm going to show you are pretty straightforward, so I'm mainly just going to show you the gear and stats. So for the striker mask, armor, Has-Pro, PFE, gloves, armor, Has-Pro, knee pads, armor, crit damage, and holster, armor, crit damage. For the backpack, I'm using the Memento. It has a PFE mod, and with the way I've got this build set up, whenever you pick up a trophy, you get 5% weapon damage, 60% bonus armor, and 5% skill efficiency, along with 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regen when you're at full stacks. Then for the chest, I was using one piece of Palisade, and in retrospect, I probably didn't need this armor on kill because I had a pretty good amount of armor regen. I probably should have used a piece of Cheska or a piece of Fenris, but Palisade is what I was wearing. This has armor, armor regen, crit damage, PFE, and I had Obliterate on here. For the weapons, I was using the Backfire SMG. Mine has 15 expertise in it. This has SMG damage, crit chance, and damage to targets out of cover. And this has the talent Payment in Kind, giving you up to 200% crit damage. For the secondary, I used the Lexington, mainly so I could have a weapon with good accuracy and also be carrying a different ammo type. This was nice to have in the two boss rooms because those were the only two rooms that were actually dangerous. So this helped me be able to stay in a safe spot for longer. So my Lexington has 20 expertise. This has assault rifle damage, health damage, damage to targets out of cover, and then I have the talent Optimist on here. And for the mods, I have crit chance, rounds, crit chance, and accuracy. Then for the skills, I'm using the Fixer Drone. This is at tier 2. This is going to give just under 27,600 healing. I have 12 expertise in here. That boosts the duration a little bit, which is fine, but not that important. The mods, duration, health, and I have a damage reduction mod in here, but that doesn't do anything for the Fixer Drone. Then for my second skill, I have a Crusader Shield. This is going to be at tier 6. I have 20 expertise in here. This gives an extra 20% active regeneration for me. And the mods, I have holster regeneration and active regeneration. Then for the modifiers, the active modifier for me doesn't really matter. I didn't use it at all because I'm more interested in the passives, mainly this one right here. So extra padding gives you 5% protection from elites per blue core when you're at tier 5 in stamina. So in the case of this build, that's an extra 30% protection from elites, and I wanted 100% uptime on this. Then because I never used the active modifier, I went with Multitasker since I'd be at tier 5 in all attributes for the entire mission. And then the last one, I used the best kind of defense for extra headshot damage. So currently I'm sitting at tier 5 in all attributes, and this is what the stats look like. So I have 56% crit chance, 96% crit damage, 117.5% headshot damage, just under 2 million armor, 197,000 armor on kill, and right now I don't have any memento stacks. When you're at full memento, this should be around 63,000, I think. And then 78% protection from elites and 30% hazard protection. I went with less hazard protection because when you get up to 100 stacks on the Backfire, the bleed effect actually goes away. In the Master Mission, there's so many enemies that you're constantly shooting while at 100 stacks. So the bleed only really affects you at the beginning of each fight. Then last is the Specialization. I was using Survivalist for this 10% protection from elites, and then I had SMGs and Assault Rifle selected here. Alright, so the Striker Backfire setup is definitely overall stronger than this next one, but this next one is even tankier while being almost as strong, kind of. Like, aside from the one-shot thing at the end of the mission, this build will let you run around and take a ridiculous amount of damage while still hitting around 1.1 million to the head. And the reason I say kinda is because it's great against human enemies. This build really suffers when it comes to all the robot enemies. The robot enemies still can't hurt you, but your damage drop off against them is quite a lot. So this build will take a lot more patience, specifically in the first boss room. So for this build, for the mask, I'm using the Chill Out mask. This is dropped by the Loot Goblin. I'm going to be using 3 pieces of Gilligard, mainly so I can get this 2% armor regen. And I have armor, headshot damage, and 2 protection from elites mods. The holster is the second piece. I have armor. This crit chance is fine, but doesn't really matter for the Bighorn. And then I have headshot damage. The third piece is the knee pads, armor, armor regen, and headshot damage. For the Golem gear, I'm using this so I can get this 1.5% armor regen. For the chest, I'm using the Hunter Killer. I have armor, armor regen, headshot damage, and protection from elites. And this has the talent Perfect Intimidate. The second piece of Golem gear is the gloves. This has armor, headshot damage, and armor regen. Then for the backpack, I'm using the Memento. It's the same as in the Striker setup. For the weapons, I'm using the Bighorn for the headshot damage. So my Bighorn has 20 expertise. This has assault rifle damage, health damage, damage to targets out of cover, and has the talent Big Game Hunter. And I almost never use this gun scoped in, but this bottom part is going to give you 150% headshot damage when you're at 25 stacks. Then for the secondary, I'm using the Black Friday LMG. Again, I'm mainly using this for a second ammo type. I use this quite a bit in the 2 boss rooms because that's where you're going to have the huge damage drop off, and this keeps you from having to run to the ammo crate as often. So my Black Friday has 20 expertise. This has LMG damage, damage to targets out of cover, damage to armor, and it has the talent Perfectly Unhinged, and it has the mods crit chance, reload speed, crit chance, and accuracy. Then for the skills, I'm using the Fixer Drone just like before, except in this case it's going to be tier 3 because of the specialization. And then I'm also using the Crusader Shield like before, and it is the exact same. Then for the mods, they're the exact same as the Striker build for the exact same reason as the Striker build. So for the stats, again, I'm at tier 5 in all attributes for this. And this time I went out and got 30 memento stacks so you can see how much regen this has. So first, this has a little bit of crit chance, a little bit of crit damage. It's not too important. Sitting at 212.8% headshot damage, which will be 362% once you have Bighorn stacks. And then a little over 2 million armor, no armor on kill, 147,000 armor regen. And then 80% protection from elites. And the drone is giving you another 43,000 healing. So this build overall has about 190,000 armor regen. Then last is the specialization. I'm using Technician. This gives +1 skill tier. This is going to make the drone heal a little bit better. This is going to do plus 12% damage to drones, skills, proxies, and robotics. Then make sure you have this plus 10 skill healing. And then I have assault rifles and LMGs selected here. So those are the two builds I used to complete the Climax mission on Master difficulty. And in this video I'll leave you with a little bit of gameplay with the Bighorn build. I won't show you the whole run because I think it took me a little under an hour. And if you want to see gameplay with the Striker build, I have a full master run on my channel that I posted yesterday, and I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to see that build in action. But anyway, try them out, let me know what you think. Good luck with the Master Climax mission, and I'll see you next time.
Automated defenses detected. Caution advised.
You dare, you're trespassing. This is now a Black Panther facility. Turn around and leave immediately. You were warned.
This is all good. Hit him!
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I've got your back.
target. Neutralized.